So this is where you would have ended up at the end of Simple Interest Video 3. We learned about maturity value. And you got some practice calculating the maturity value, the simple arithmetic of adding the amount of principal plus the amount of interest that was accumulated over a period of time at a specific interest rate. And so that's how we came up with these values over here. And so compare your numbers right in this section here to your worksheet. Make sure you have those same numbers, and if you don't, let me know and maybe I need to make some corrections, but I think we're okay. So next up here in video 4, we want to take a look at doing some date arithmetic. And the first thing to do is to go ahead and create a new sheet within our Simple Interest workbook. And so you do that just by clicking that plus sign there. And then give it this name right here, Date Arithmetic. And then once you've done that, we'll take a look here at our blank sheet and talk about what we're calling date arithmetic. And specifically, we want to calculate the maturity value. And I've got a note here. I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger here. There we go. So date arithmetic, what we're going to do is add and subtract dates to find a particular date in the future. And specifically what we are looking for, we call it the maturity date. Find the maturity date of these particular loans that are due a certain number of days in the future, starting at a particular date. So maturity date is the date when a loan is due or when a bill is due. And so a lot of times in business, you want to pay bills no sooner than you have to, and certainly not late. Don't like to pay bills late, but in a lot of situations, you can receive a discount if you pay your bills at a particular time. And so it's important to calculate the exact number of days to get to the date of when you should actually pay a bill or get that bill in the mail. And so we're going to learn how to do that through what we're calling date arithmetic. So I've got a sample here, and then we'll go through and do this one together. So before you start building this worksheet, let's talk about it a little bit, and then we'll go through and build it together. So what we're looking at here is we want to calculate the date in the future, 90 days in the future, starting in March 10th. And so on March 10th, what will the date be 90 days from this date? And so what we're going to do is through a process of just calculating the total days until we get to 90 days, and then we take a look at what the date is on that date. So let me go through and do an example with you, and then we can go through and do it together. So I'll just go ahead and erase this. And so we're interested in March 10th. And once again, we want to know what the date's going to be 90 days from this date. So the first thing to do is to ask yourself how many days are remaining in March. And this is where it's important to know how many days there are in each month if you're going to do calculations like this. So you can look at a calendar, but it's also a good idea just to know that there are 31 days in March. So what you could do is just quick arithmetic here. We could just put in 31 minus the 10th day, and that'll tell us there's 21 days remaining in the month of March. And remember, we're trying to get to 90. So we need another month. So let's go ahead and drop this down, and we'll get April. How many days can we get out of April? And those of you that have been practicing that Quizlet know there are 30 days in April. So how many total days have we used now? Well, we've got this 30 plus the 21 from March, so we're at 51 days. And remember, our goal is to get to 90 days. So we need another month. We need more days. So let's go into May. How many days in May? 31. And then we can do that arithmetic again. 31 plus 51. We're getting close. 82. So we're real close, but we still need another month. So let's get June. And then we could take a look at this and ask ourselves, well, how many more days do we need to get to 90? And the answer is obvious, 8. But if we want to do the arithmetic on that, just to make sure, we can do this. Equals, there's our total, 90, minus the number of days we already have. And there it is. So 90 days from March 10th, the date will be June 8th. If we want to check our arithmetic further, we can simply just take our 8 days in June plus our 82 from the previous 3 months, and there it is, 90 days. So on 90 days from March 10th, it is June 8th. All right, let's do it again together. So the problem is 90 days in the future, from March 10th, what will the date be? Step 1, how many days remaining in March? 31. Let's do the arithmetic. 31 minus the 10 days. Trying to get to 90. We need more days in April. We know that there are a total of 30 days in April. Let's calculate our total days. We're at 51 days, so we need all of May, and there's a total of 31 days in May. And then we need to see how many days we need in June, and the number of days that we need in June will tell us the date. We need 8 days, therefore the date is June 8th. And then that last calculation, if we want to make sure. Count our total days. There we go. 90 days from March 10th. The date will be June 8th. Give that a quick practice. Ask any questions that you have. And then I'm going to put some other problems up here for you to practice with doing some date arithmetic. And so here are a few that you can practice with. Let's calculate the future date, 120 days in the future, starting October 18th. And then the second one for you to practice. Let's go ahead and do 245 days in the future, starting September 2nd. And see if you can calculate that date, and I will come around and say how you're doing, answer any questions you may have. Have fun with this.